Welcome to Nitro Game Injection.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nitro Game Injection. I am your host, Kyle JCRB, and I'm here for the next couple hours to bring you some great VGM. Right there, you just heard a remix from Tales of Symphonia called Chaotic Heart from my good buddy Sixto Sounds. Yes. That's from the OverClocked remix album, Summoning of Spirits. Find that one at tales.ocremix.org. And that particular track sets the stage this week for the Patreon's Choice Special for the month of March. Yes. So it did a poll over at patreon.com/KNGI. There's a poll over there. You can head on over there. And if you're a patron at any level, you can vote in these polls every month. And the folks have spoken, and they said, we want you to do the medical special. And I'm like, all right. So I did my poll was thematically appropriate for the things going on in real life right now. So, I mean, I don't want to get too far into the weeds. We actually talked quite a bit about it last episode because, you know, everyone I was talking to was also isolated, not going outside, not doing anything. So, we didn't have much to talk about other than that. But if you missed that, we did have a lot of fun on that episode too. So if you missed NGI 400, go check that one out. But this week we're back to normal format, normal show and everything. But I did a poll that was thematic to what's going on in the world right now. And overwhelmingly, the people wanted to hear something a bit more, I guess, uplifting. I don't know if it's uplifting really, but they didn't want to hear anything like, I don't know, games about, like, they didn't want games about viruses. They wanted games about curing people and saving people and healing people. And right now, I think that is a very good thing. So that is what this episode is all about. This is dedicated to the medical profession in some form or another, whether it be through magic medicine, like, you know, just healing people like in RPGs, which is relevant to the Tales of Symphonia track I just played, or whether it's actual, like, doctors and other medical professionals that actually, you know, do the medical things. So, yeah, that's going to be what this episode's all about. And if you can help your local medical facilities at all with donating the products that they need, like gloves, face masks, gowns, that kind of stuff, please do so, because they really need that stuff right now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this tribute to the folks who are trying to keep us safe and healthy. Right now, I got another one from Summoning with Spirits, actually, this time from Tales of Phantasia. This one is the theme of Mint, the healer character in that game. And this one is called Crisis Healing Salve from Hemophiliac and Christian Pacaud. Let's go ahead and get into it. Keep it here. This is NGI. That right there was Magellanic with Chivalrous Medicinal Murder from Mega Man 10. Please do not actually commit any medicinal murder. Not intentionally, but, you know, yeah. It's a thing, okay? I don't know, it's just what the song is called. It's from Mega Man 10, though. It's good stuff. Yes. Mega Man 10, rare. You know, when did I say rare? I don't know. I was thinking Mega Man 10, it's not an amazing game. The soundtrack is a bit of a disappointment compared to Mega Man 9. And Purvis is saying he has to demand Smooth as Honey from Sir J. Well, not on this episode, and also that's from Mega Man 9, because Hornet Man is from Mega Man 9, which has the infinitely better soundtrack. So, weird that you would remind yourself of a Mega Man 9 song when I was playing a Mega Man 10 song, but whatever, you have fun with that. Before that, we had A.S.H, Kinya, Sawaguchi, and Jason Miller with The Original from Guilty Gear X2, or Double X, or XX, whatever you want to call it. And that particular album, Guilty Gear XX in NY Vocal Edition, is pretty silly. There's also another one, Guilty Gear XX in LA Vocal Edition, which adds, you know, super cheesy early 2000s new metal vocals over Guilty Gear songs. Both of those albums do that. And it's like, I mean, I get it. It's funny. And it's kind of fun, but, you know, still pretty silly. Faust's theme was that one. Faust is the kind of crazy doctor from the game. And it kind of like moves all weird and does some weird stuff. He's a very weird doctor. I'm not sure you'd want him treating you. He's very strange and I think kind of a crazy person. So you may not want him treating you. He's a mad doctor. So I don't know though. If you're really desperate, you might go see Dr. Faust. But yeah, it's like, yeah, maybe not. So that's okay. Yeah, I mean, he's a doctor in a video game, so he's in here. And starting us off there was Hemophiliac and Christian Pacaud. Ah, yes, he does have a paper bag on his head. That is correct. That is probably his most defining feature. I don't know how I could forget that. Before that, Hemophiliac and Christian Pacaud with a remix of Mint's theme from Tales of Phantasia called Crisis Healing Salve. All right. Well, let's go ahead and keep the medical special a roll in here with a remix of the hospital theme from Super Meat Boy. I mean, what else do you want when you're in the hospital? You want some meat, right? I always want some meat. I don't have to be in the hospital to want meat. I mean, that's just me. I'm a weirdo, but I don't know. Here's one from Super Meat Boy. This is from Josh Welchel and Melinda Hershey. This is called Power of the Meat. Power of the Meat. From OverClocked Remix. Keep it here. This is NGI.
Say wish you had some fingers with which love to cry. Now I know what you're thinking, though I think this seems once more. Now when your blood paints these walls, I call it world apart.
right there was Smooth. Very smooth. And also, by the artist, Smooth. With Dr. Stewart from F-Zero GX. Yes, the good Dr. Stewart. This guy is an actual, like, a real doctor. He's like an actual... He's like a real surgeon. He does actual things to help people. He's not like a weirdo like other video game doctors. I mean, that's a rarity, actually. It's pretty rare. They exist, but it's pretty rare. So, and he also likes to drive a futuristic floating hover car really fast. So, that's two things in his favor. He's a good doctor, he's a surgeon, and he likes to drive real fast in cool cars. So there we go. That's all you need. Before that, we had Jive Master with a track from the original Sonic the Hedgehog as featured on his album Green Hills Sessions. That track is called Be Immune. Something I think a lot of people wish they could be right now. Especially those working in the medical profession, but thanks for putting your lives on the line, guys. It's a bit wild out there. So, hopefully you can be immune as best as you can. And then starting us off there was Josh Welchel and Melinda Hershey with Power of the Meat from Super Meat Boy. Meaty. Meaty. Anyway. Man. This is an interesting situation going on in the world right now. Things look bad. Things may look bleak to some folks. But we can power through this. We got this. We'll come out for the better for it, hopefully, by the end. Fingers crossed, maybe. We'll see. Nah, we will. But in the meantime, let's just carry on with some video game music awesomeness, shall we? This next one comes to us from Do a Barrel Roll. This is another one from their newest album, Super Smash Band Heroes. They are, in fact, planning to do a follow-up called Super Smash Band Villains as well, so I'm looking forward to that in the future. That's going to be a lot of fun. This album is fantastic, so whatever they come up with for villains, I'm sure will also be great. This particular one comes to us from Earthbound, and the track is simply creatively titled Hospital. I'll go away. This is NGI.
You're listening to Nitro Game Injection.
right there was some nice acoustic stuff from Avarice and Level 99 from Final Fantasy V. That was A Healer's Touch theme of White Mage. That one's featured on OverClocked Remix's album, The Fabled Warriors. That's from Part 1, Wind, released all the way back in 2010. I remember when that album was first conceptualized, the idea was that it would not take as long to make because it would be broken up into chunks. It would not take as long to come out as some of the much longer albums that OverClocked Remix is kind of known for, the big long compilation albums, because of, well, you know. And it's a decade later, and there's still only 2 parts of a planned, I believe, 4? I believe it's supposed to be 4 parts, and there's still only 2 of a planned 4. So, I'm sorry, Dark Sword. I love you, but man, I think you might have maybe bit off more than you could chew with that one. I don't know. I don't want to say that. That's mean. I don't know if that's mean or not, but it's like the idea was sound. It was a good idea at the time, but you know, you tried. Still good albums, though. No problems with the albums themselves. The albums are fantastic. It's just kind of funny that it was like, yes, we shall not take nearly as long to get all the albums out, we shall not take nearly as long to get albums out to the people, because we'll split them up and release them over time. It's like, well, I mean, I guess. I don't know. You can pick it up at ff5.ocremix.org, though. Either way, it's good stuff. There's good things to be had in there, because it's Final Fantasy V, aka the one with the best music, and probably the best characters, and probably the best everything else, because it's Final Fantasy V. Like, come on. We didn't get it in the West because it was the best, and they were like, nah, we can't give this one to them. They're not good enough. But then they finally figured out later, okay, fine, we'll give it to them. Luckily. Thank you. Before that was Dematory with Hospital BGM from Erika and Satoru's Dream Adventure, a game for the Famicom I have no familiarity with whatsoever. But hey, song was called Hospital, so I put it in here. Hopefully it's a good hospital and not like an evil hospital. You don't want to go to the evil hospital. The evil hospital is a bad place. Before that, we had Do a Barrel Roll, starting us off there with a track from Earthbound, also called, coincidentally, Hospital. That's from their album Super Smash Band Heroes. All right, well, one of my poll options for Patreon's choice this month was Dr. Mario, just like a whole show of nothing but Dr. Mario. Sadly, that one did not win, but that's not going to stop me from doing a block of Dr. Mario right now. This is the remix soundtrack spotlight. Yes. So I got 5 Dr. Mario remixes coming your way. 5! I wanted to do a whole show of Dr. Mario, to be honest with you, but I'll settle for this. It's fine. It's fine. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get into some Dr. Mario goodness. I do love me some Dr. Mario. And even if Dr. Mario is maybe not a real doctor, he may not be a licensed professional, he has at least some experience in virus busting, so, I mean, I would take him over nothing at this point. So, yay, Dr. Mario. Help me, Dr. Mario. Throw pills into a bottle and kill them viruses, please. Particularly that one virus. But anyway. Let's go ahead and get into this track from DJ Redlight. This is a classic from OverClocked Remix. This one goes back to 2007. This is a good one. I like this one. It's called Burnin' Up from ocremix.org. Keep it here. This is Nitro Game Injection.
What seems to be the problem?
Dr. Mario, I have a cold.
You have a fever.
Yes, I have a slight fever.
Take these capsules. Don't worry. No problem. Once I throw the capsules, all the viruses will disappear.
That right there was 5 Dr. Mario arrangements for you. You just heard Playing with Power with Versus Victory from their album Pause, I'd Rather Play. Before that, we had Low Tech Sun with a classic Dojin track. That one goes back to 2006. And that one's simply titled Fever, although it also incorporates quite a bit of the Hammer Brothers theme from Mario 3. And honestly, I've always kind of like, I remember when I was dabbling with music and stuff, like I learned the Hammer Brothers theme and I could hear it in my head, like so clearly that Fever and the Hammer Brothers theme went well together. And I mean, I never could do anything like Low Tech Sun. Never could. But you know, I at least my brain made that connection. So I'm glad someone else's brain also made that connection, because I really enjoyed that one. Before that, we had Kunio with Chill 920 Mix from his album Guilty Works. A bit of a rarity, that album. You can't really download it anymore. It was like limited Twitter release only. I don't even know how exactly I found that it was up, that it had been released, but I grabbed it, and then after that, it just kind of disappeared, and now it's like gone for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so that's out there, though. I mean, you might be able to find it if you ask certain people. So I will say that much. Good stuff there from Kudio, though. I always enjoyed his the chiptune works that he does, because they're just like ridiculously over the top on a different level from the originals. So good stuff. Before that, we had Kirby's Dream Band with a track called Fever from Harmony of Heroes. That's the Super Smash Bros. Giant compilation album that you can pick up at harmonyofheroes.com or harmonyofheroes.net. I believe they both work. And then starting us off there, a track from OverClocked Remix. That was DJ Redlight with Burning Up. You can find that one over at ocremix.org. Again, another classic dating back, 12 years, 13 years? Yeah, 2007. So, pretty bit of an oldie, but a goodie. Well, up next, we've got something from the game that might be the most medical game out there. I don't know. A game where you play as a doctor and treating patients. There's not many of them. You got, like, I guess, well, Theme Hospital's more like you're a hospital tycoon person. You run a hospital. There was that brain surgery game for DOS, I think. There aren't many games where you actually get to play as a medical professional doing medical things. So, but there is one series that I know of, Trauma Center. And there are not many remixes of Trauma Center out there in existence, sadly. So, but I do have this one from Ro Paniganti. This one dates back to 2016. So it's a little rougher around the edges compared to Ro's modern stuff, but still pretty good. This is from Trauma Center's Second Opinion. And it's creatively titled Metal Medley. Keep it here. This is NGI.
Dr. Rowe, you're needed immediately. There's been an accident.
Patient arrived at 1:37 p.m. today with signs of blunt force trauma. Patient was driving on I-85 highway at about 7.
KNGI.
Welcome. Have a nice day.
That track ended rather abruptly. That was Joshua Morse with Medical Insurance from Earthbound. That's featured on the Earthbound album Bound Together, which is another giant compilation album dedicated to Earthbound. There's been a few of those. This was the earliest one, though, dating back to like 2006. So that album was directed by Joe Cam. So you used to be able to find it at joecam.net, but I don't think you can anymore. VGMdb, look it up there. You'll find like links and stuff. But it's a bit of a hard to find album these days, sadly. But you can find it. It does exist. So you just have to, once again, know the right people and ask them. And if you're listening to the show, you know at least one of the right people. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Before that, we had Adventurers Guild Japan with another doujin group. That's from their album Sorcerian Mega Engine. This is an album arranging the game Sorcerian for the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis, whatever you want to call it. This one's pretty old. This one actually goes back to 2003. That one's called The Herbal Medicine China Village. I do not recommend herbal remedies for COVID-19, but I mean, you do you, huh? It works. Whatever. It doesn't work, but you know. Yeah, please see a doctor if you suspect you have anything. You know, if you can. And then starting us off there was Ro Paniganti with Trauma Center Second Opinion Metal Medley. Okay, well, I do want to put out a public service announcement and just mention that, like I mentioned before, if you do have like personal protective equipment like gloves, face masks, face shields, scrubs, anything like that, anything that people can use, that medical professionals can use, please look into if your local hospital is accepting donations. You can find out more, actually, and you can find out which hospitals are accepting donations at getusppe.org. Again, that's getusppe.org. They don't take any cash donations, it seems. They literally only just take any equipment you can give, and you're giving it directly to hospitals that are local to you. You're not giving it to a company who then distributes it. You're making sure this is going directly to the people who need it. So I think that's pretty cool. All right. Well, unfortunately, this next song, rather prescient, has a rather prescient title, sadly. This one is from Just Coffee, from the album Pixel Remixel Volume 0. Just Coffee was someone I discovered thanks to OCR, and they had a track posted on there, and they have some pretty good remixes, so check out their albums at justcoffee.bandcamp.com. And this particular one is from the classic Konami arcade shmup Twin Bee. And unfortunately, it is called No Gloves. Keep it here. This is NGI. That right there was an 8.5-minute epic by Joel Kent called Song of Healing from Zelda Majora's Mask. That's featured on the album Hemophiliac Zelda Metal Volume 2, featured on Materia Collective. You can pick that one up over at joelkentguitar.bandcamp.com or at materiacollective.bandcamp.com. You can find them all over there. And a whole lot more stuff as well. But good stuff there from Joel. It's like 8.5 minutes for a song that's not very long. The Song of Healing, not very long. Before that, we had Yasumasa Kitagawa, the track from the Rockman.exe 15th Arrange Best Soundtrack. Or 15th Arrange Best Track. Not soundtrack, just track. And that's a track called Virus Busting. Rockman.exe, by the way, if you didn't know, Japanese name for Mega Man Battle Network. So that's a track from the original Mega Man Battle Network, a remix from it, an official arrangement, officially put out by Capcom. So there you go. And then starting us off there was Just Coffee with a track from Twinbee called No Gloves. With that, we are actually at the end of this episode of NGI. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Huge thanks, as always, to the patrons who helped make this show possible and who voted in the poll this month to decide what happens, decide the future of NGI. They predict the future. Well, they don't predict the future. They choose the future of NGI. So thank you guys, as always. Let me see if I can pull up the list of them so I can give out the proper shoutouts. I mean, come on. All right, let's go ahead and do it. I'll give you the rundown here of the folks who pledged to this show and helped make it possible. That is David P., Jennifer R., Grundenier, Nixie, Carlos, Sebastian W., Ket, Green Viper 8, Bev Wolf, aka Rexy, and Andrea E. Thank you guys for helping out and supporting the show as always. I'll be back next week with more video game music awesomeness. I'm not planning on anything special or anything. I think it's just going to be a regular show. I do have a lot of music we got to catch up on, so it's going to be packed. I hope to see you there. Head on over to KNGI.org if you're looking for more to listen to. You can find archived episodes of Nitro Game Injection over there, as well as other shows, including the show I do with my good buddy Ian Flynn called the Bumblecast. Sadly, Ian has been kind of sick for the last month and a half or so. So I've been doing the show actually with Aaliyah Baker instead, and that's been a lot of fun. So you can also check out Molehill Mountain, which features right now Andrew Eisen just by his lonesome, just talking about, video game stuff and some political things related to games and some things like that. It's a really cool show. It's a fun show. And then I think that's it. Wait, what else is going on over there? What other show is currently active over there? I'm blanking now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also find old episodes though of Radio Overcoat and Toho Tuesday, of course, and JMR's show Open Circuit, all that good stuff. So it's all there for your listening pleasure. I keep all this stuff up for you guys because it's good and it's fun, and you should listen to it. So there. Patreon.com/KNGI if you appreciate the KNGI network and NGI and all this other stuff. That helps keep the show going. It helps pay for the streaming server bills and a few other things. Also helps keep me alive, so thank you for that. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of NGI. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back next week. In the meantime, though, I'm going to play 2 tracks. Actually, nope, just 1 track, actually, to close us out. This one is from Protodome and Level 99. It's from Pokemon. It's an arrangement of the Pokemon Center theme from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. This one's called Hope to See You Again Soon. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been Nitro Game Injection number 401. It's March 30th, 2020. It's been one heck of a year so far. I'm Kyle JCRB, and I am out of here. See you later.
You've been listening to Nitro Game Injection.